when I decided to inject Daniel Rock 08 with a lethal dose of poison to review Sweet Saudi Arabia shows, this was the show I was looking forward to the most. Because this was the show with the most controversy. This was the show with the most backlash, with the most horrific crap going on. This was dubbed one of the worst shows in a long time in WWE history, and I am all about reviewing shitty shows. You know it. It's been a while since I reviewed a terrible show. It's been a while since Daniel Rock's reviewed a shitty pay-per-view. It's been a while. So, let's start off. Crown Jewel. Here we go. We have the best of the World Cup tournament where you would think we would have an international flavor. You know, you would get guys like Kofi Kingston in there from Ghana, West Africa. You would get Cesaro from Switzerland. You would get maybe Ali and so on and so forth. Shinsuke Nakamura. But instead, we get 8 competitors, all who are American. Because there's nothing more American than saying you're the best in the world. And I also think that this Best in the World tournament is a little dig at CM Punk, but I digress. Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Dolph Ziggler, and Kurt Angle are all in this tournament. 8 men, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown. Let's start it all off. Rey Mysterio defeats Randy Orton in a basic opener. 4 out of 10. It lasts about 5 minutes. You blink, you missed it. Really, 5 minutes, nothing going on. This is nothing like No Way Out 2006. It's nothing like any of their matches from days gone by. 4 out of 10. Rey Mysterio with a quick roll-up. Randy Orton beats the crap out of Rey Mysterio, and there you go. Moving on. The Miz defeats Jeff Hardy in a basic match. 5 out of 10. We're flying through here. Seth Rollins defeats Bobby Lashley in a pretty bad match. 3 out of 10. Bobby Lashley dominates most of this until Seth Rollins outsmarts him, outquicks him, leapfrogs over him, gets the curb stomp, whatever. And then we get to a part where I really didn't like. You have this tournament, and you have a show that isn't really canon, but is canon for some reason, because they count the Royal Rumble match. I don't know why. But you have Kurt Angle in here. Why not give this show Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins? Why not have Kurt Angle go all the way to the end? And maybe you have Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. Or maybe you have Kurt Angle lose to Randy Orton in the finals. And it's like, the old lion, the Hall of Famer. Can he still have it? Does he still have what it takes to be the best in the world? Can he win 3 matches in a row? Oh no, he got stopped by Randy Orton. You got a cool story going on. Instead, Dolph Ziggler beats Kurt Angle in a forgettable okay match. 5.5. The Bar defeats New Day to retain their SmackDown titles. I forgot Big Show was their manager for some reason, turning heel, babyface and heel like 20,000 times already. 5. Pretty forgettable. The Miz defeats Rey Mysterio to move through the finals. 6 out of 10. So, instead of doing Seth Rollins versus Kurt Angle and give us that nice story, instead we get Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins for the 1,000th time in 2018. These guys fought each other so many times. Who the fuck cares? They had 4-star, 5-star, 9, 8 out of 10 matches. Whatever. Thanks to Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler picks up the victory over Seth Rollins, who was the Intercontinental Champion, and who cares? They fought each other 100 times on Raw at this point. 6.5. Who the fuck cares? Fuck Dolph Ziggler! AJ Styles defeats Samoa Joe to retain his WWE Championship. Towards the end of AJ Styles' WWE title reign, it was pretty bad because he was just fighting Samoa Joe over, and Samoa Joe had they had this rivalry over the family matters, family values that they would then rewrite for Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. They do the exact same thing a year later with them. 6 out of 10, nothing special, really. Honestly, these guys had way better matches than TNA, Ring of Honor, and so on and so forth, and whatever. AJ Styles retains his title. Whatever. Brock Lesnar defeats Braun Strowman in a match that, quite frankly, pisses me off the absolute most out of all of this. You would think, yeah, Shawn Michaels is returning for the first time in 8 years. You would think that would piss me off more than ever. No. It's this match right here. So Baron Corbin, Constable Corbin, the acting general manager, whatever the fuck they want to call him, the lone wolf, whatever. He attacks Braun Strowman with the Universal title, which unfortunately is vacated because Roman Reigns had to relinquish his championship, having to leave to battle leukemia. Much more controversial going on here. Yes, you have a show built with all this controversy, and you have to crown a new Universal Champion because the previous champion had it vacated due to having leukemia. Anyways, Braun Strowman gets hit by Brock Lesnar's F5 not once, not twice, not thrice, not twice, but fives. 5 times. 4 in the ring, 1 to the outside, and the 1 to the outside, he literally picked his ass up, F5'd him over the top rope to the outside. Impressive, but at that point in time, you might as well hear, no chance in hell. Why not just have Vince McMahon come down to the ring, power strut like he can, and fire Braun Strowman on the spot? Who the fuck cares about Braun Strowman now? 0 out of 10, minus 5 more points, because it's pissing me the shit off the more and more I talk about. It was literally 5 F5s, 1 to the outside, and there you go. Brock Lesnar wins the Universal Championship, and the reign of terror continues. And it's still going today because Brock Lesnar will be defending his title against Cain Velasquez at Crown Jewel 2, which I'm going to deem a UFC hope. This is Crown Jewel. Attack of Shane McMahon. And speaking of Shane McMahon, oh boy, it's the finals. So we get The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler in the finals to crown the best in the world cup. Of all the combinations, of all the matches you could have had, you could have had Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. You could have had Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton. You could have had Kurt Angle versus Jeff Hardy. Screw it. Why not? You could have had Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. Seth Rollins versus Jeff Hardy. You could have had quite a few combinations worth of things. I think Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio really would have been it. But you go with The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, a match that literally has happened more than John Cena versus Randy Orton. A match that's happened 12,699,000 times. I said 12,000. I said 1,000 in that word twice. Whatever. 1 million times. But during the match, Drew McIntyre, he gets ejected. And then The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, they brawl. The Miz, he jumps to the outside, he tweaks his leg, and now he can't compete in the match. So, lo and behold, here comes Shane McMahon, and he is going to replace Dolph. He is going to face Dolph Ziggler in the finals and going to replace The Miz. And replace he did, because in 3 minutes, Shane McMahon defeats Dolph Ziggler to become the best in the world! Cup winner. 2.5 out of 10. I wanted to hate it more than it is worth hating, but hey, I dig me some Shane McMahon. I give it a 2.5. Wanted to give it a dud, but I give it a 2.5 because I actually love Shane McMahon. Whew! And then the main event of Crown Jewel, Attack of Shane McMahon. The return of D-Generation X. More importantly, the return of Shawn Michaels. The man who he himself said he's going to do what no other retiree has done. And that is keep his word and stay retired. For 8.5 fucking years, Shawn Michaels was retired. Never to compete in a WWE ring again. Well, thanks to that sweet Saudi money, that's no longer the case, as Shawn Michaels comes out of retirement to team with his best friend, Triple H, to face off against Kane and The Undertaker, Brothers of Destruction, in a Dream Tag Team main event. This match is actually not that bad. Some people might rate it way worse than I'm going to give it. I give it a 4. In the very beginning, it was actually really good. It's surprising to me that Shawn Michaels, at this point in time, who returned after 8.5 fucking years, he returns, and Shawn Michaels, he's just as good as he ever fucking was. He's just as good as he was back in 2009, 10 years prior, whatever the fuck. And he's like 55, 56 years old. That's incredible. That's incredible. This match wasn't as incredible. There was many horrendous botches. For one, Shawn Michaels accidentally knocked Kane's mask off of his face. Shawn Michaels went for a moonsault that nobody catches him. And then there's one weird botch. And I literally have to demonstrate this, how insanely horrendous this botch was. So, bear with me. Bear with me here. Imagine this chair. This chair is Triple H, and I'm the fucking Undertaker. Makes no sense, but just go with it. So, here's the Undertaker. They're on the outside. Here's Triple H. He goes to whip him, and I guess Undertaker wanted him to reverse the Irish whip so they go into the barricade. Imagine the camera is the barricade. So, instead of Triple H reversing the Irish whip, he just goes with it. And it just goes like this, like, boom, and they fall right into the barricade. Triple H literally just goes with Undertaker, and then they fall into the barricade together. I don't know how good of a picture that was, but whatever. Triple H also separated his shoulder, and he would be out for a little while, leaving his much anticipated, highly rumored match with Batista at WrestleMania 35 in jeopardy. Of course, they would end up doing their match at WrestleMania 35, so it all ended okay. Anyways, Shawn Michaels hit sweet chin music on The Undertaker. Pedigree, one of the worst pedigrees of all time, on Kane. Kane getting both knees up, and Triple H gets the pinfall. You would think Shawn Michaels would get the pinfall, but most of the time it was Shawn Michaels getting his ass kicked. 4 out of 10. And there you go. Overall, Crown Jewel. Return. It's Crown Jewel. Attack of Shane McMahon. Not as bad as I wanted it to be, honestly. I was rubbing my hands thinking, okay, I want this show is as bad as it's going to be. All right, this is called one of the worst shows of all time, right? It's not that bad. It's not that bad of a show. Other than Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, a match that literally pissed the fuck off of me. And Shane McMahon being called the best in the world. I wasn't too pissed off with Shawn Michaels returning. And yes, John Cena's not there. Daniel Bryan refused to go. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Aleister Black, Kevin Owens, so on and so forth. All the women, of course. Renee Young got to be there somehow. I didn't hate this show. It's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not the worst show ever, I guess. I give it a 3.9 out of 10, just right underneath the 4 because of the horrendous Universal Championship. I'm Dana Rock 08, and I'll catch you next time for Botches of the Sith, aka Super Showdown.